Hello guys, how are you doing? This is Balaji and in this session I am going to show you how to write a Python code to do geocoding and reverse geocoding using Google Maps API. So let's start. I'll open my Visual Studio Code. Before actually showing you how to send and receive request using Python, I will show you how to send request to an API using browser now. So I'll open my Google Chrome and then here I want to type the API address. So my API address is maps.google.com/maps/API/geocode/JSON. So I want to use the geocode service of this Google APIs. So I use geocode and then I want the result to be in a JSON format. So I specified JSON here. I will press enter. See, the result is in a JSON format. Short note, here in my case I am using this JSON viewer plugin, so only the result is in a nice readable format. Suppose if you don't have JSON viewer plugin, means the result won't look good like this. I'll show you that. I will copy this URL and then I will open new incognito window and then here I will paste the URL, send the request. See, here the result is not looking good like our previous result. So I recommend you to use JSON viewer plugin because it helps us to understand the JSON that is written by the server. I attached a link to download this JSON viewer plugin in the video description. So check out the video description, download this JSON viewer plugin and then continue this tutorial. Okay. Continuing into our session, suppose if you want the result to be in XML format, then you want to pause XML instead of JSON here. Okay. XML, press enter. See, now the result is in a XML format. Okay, but anyway, it is returning invalid request because we want to pass some address to it in order to geocode it. So I will do that. For that, we want to pass address as a query string parameter to this URL. So I will do that. But before that, I will change this XML to JSON because I want to parse JSON only. I don't want to parse XML. So JSON question mark address equal to, I will search for India. Press enter. Okay, again it is throwing error. The reason is, in order to use Google geocoding service, you need to have a valid Google Map API key. In my case, I already have my own API key. Suppose if you don't have Google Map API key, means I have a separate video on how to create Google Map API key. I attached a link to access that tutorial in the video description. So check out the video description if you don't know how to create and use Google Map API key. Note, in order to create Google Map API key, you need to enable billing account. Even though you don't need to pay anything for the first 1 year unless and until you reach certain limit. I attached a link to know how the pricing works in the video description. So check out the video description for more details on how the pricing works. Once you get your API key, you need to pass your API key also as a query string parameter to this API. So what I will do is, I will type and key is equal to, here you want to paste your API key. So I will paste my API key here. Press enter. Again it returns error. Now it says request to this API must be over SSL. Okay. Since we haven't specified any protocol when specifying our URL, by default our browser will use HTTP protocol. But Google wants us to use HTTPS protocol. So I will use HTTPS here. HTTPS:// and the actual URL. Now I will press enter. Okay, now it is returning the result. Okay. It is returning a single JSON object which contains result and status. The status returns the status of our request. It is succeeded, so it returns OK, and it also returns results. It is a JSON array. It contains a single JSON object. We'll explore the JSON object. It contains few properties, address components, formatted address. It is in there. We will explore the address components. It contains single JSON object, long name, short name, type of the place is country. I'll minimize it. The thing that I am interested is latitude and longitude. It is there inside this geometry object, there inside this location property. I will expand it. See, there the latitude and longitude is there. Later in this session, I will show you how to write a Python code to parse this part. We will parse this complete JSON object and then we will fetch this latitude and longitude. Okay. Now I will search for some other place. For example, Mysore. I will search for Mysore here. So I will parse Mysore instead of India. Mysore, press enter. Okay, we will explore the results. We will check the latitude and longitude. So geometry, location. This is the latitude and longitude of Mysore. Now we will explore address component. See, now it contains more than one object. Okay, we will explore it. Actually, this address components contains each and every details of our formatted address. Our formatted address is Mysore, Karnataka, India. So it contains details of Mysore, Karnataka and India. So each JSON object contains detail of each of them. I'll show you that. See, the first object contains details of Mysore. Check the type of the place, it is locality. The second object, it is also Mysore. Check the type, administrative area. The third is Karnataka, state of Mysore. Administrative area level 1. Fourth is India. It is country. I think now you guess the actual meaning of this address components. This address components contains details of each and every components of the address. In our case, the formatted address is Mysore, Karnataka, India. So it contains the details of Mysore, Karnataka and India. So this is the purpose of address components object. So this is the way to use geocoding service. Now we will do the reverse thing, the reverse geocoding. How to use reverse geocoding? It is very simple. Instead of passing address as its query string parameter, we want to pass another thing. The thing is lat lng. We want to pass lat lng and then we want to pass corresponding latitude longitude to it. Okay. So I'll type lat lng is equal to, I'll copy and paste latitude and longitude of Mysore. Copy the value of latitude, paste it here, comma, without any space, paste the value of longitude. Note that should not be any space here. You want to paste the longitude continuously without leaving any space. See, there is no space here. Finally, you want to pass your key and then press enter. Okay, we got our result. We'll explore it. What is it? First, the status is okay, means our request is succeeded. Plus code, we'll inspect it. What is it? It is our address Mysore, Karnataka, India. Okay. We'll also inspect these results. Okay, it contains more JSON objects. We'll explore it one by one. The formatted address of this thing is police station and some address in Mysore. Basically, this latitude and longitude belongs to some place in Mysore. That place is police station. So it returns that accurate details as a first object. Okay. Check the type of this address. See, it contains street level accuracy. We will inspect the second JSON object. Okay. It is one level up. Check its type. It is political sublocality. Okay. Third thing, same, I think so. Neighborhood. Okay. Okay. We will check the final JSON object. Final JSON object of this results array. We will check it. Address, format address is India. Okay. It is returning the country level detail. Okay. The object before last, Karnataka, state. Administrative level 1. Okay. I think now you can guess the order of this results array. It is returning the most accurate detail as a first object of this results array. And it is returning the least accurate detail as the last object of this results array. This is how this API works in general. Now we are going to write a Python code to consume this API. Okay, shall we start now? Okay, we'll start. I'll open my Visual Studio Code. Here I created this location.py under one of the folder in my local disk. And then I will start typing my code inside this location.py. Here as a first step, I will create one constant to store my endpoint address. So I will create URL is equal to, and then here I will paste my endpoint address. This is my actual endpoint, and then you also want to pass address. So we'll type address equal to Mysore. I will stick with this Mysore. And then you want to pass the API key. So we'll use and key is equal to my API key. I will paste my API key. Now, in order to send request to this URL, you want to have one package. The package name is requests. So first you need to download that package. So I'll open my command prompt and then I will type python -m pip install and the package name. The package name is request. Press enter. Okay, it is returning requirement already satisfied. In my case, I already have this request package, so only it is returning requirement already satisfied. But in your case, if you don't have this request package, means it will download and install that package. Okay, So once you install this request package, you need to import it. For that, I will use import, and my package name is requests. This is my package name. Now I need to use this request to send request to this URL. So request dot get, to it we need to pass URL. My URL is there in this URL, so I'll use URL. Get is a method that is used to send get request to the API endpoint. Suppose if you want to send post, put or delete request, means you want to use appropriate method. In my case, since I want to get geocode information from Google API, I am using get method. Okay, I'll collect the data returned by this get request in one variable, res is equal to, and then I will print my result. We will also check the type of the result, so we will also type it. Okay, save the changes, open your command prompt. I will clear the screen, and then I will type Python and my program name. My program name is location.py, press enter. Okay, the type of the result is response and it is returning 400. Okay, some error in our side. Okay, we'll check it. Okay, I misspelled this key, address add or ess. Okay, save the changes. Go to command prompt, run the program once again. Now our response status code is 200, means our request succeeded. In our previous case, we get the status code 400. 400 something means we have some client side problem. 500 something means we have some server side problem. But for our current request, we get 200. 200 something means our request succeeded. These are the meaning of these status codes. Okay, now I will print the body of our response. Okay, so print resp.text. This text property holds the actual body of our response. Now save the changes, run the program once again. See, it returns the actual body of our response. Results, address component, Mysore, Karnataka, it returns all those details. Okay, but there is one problem in our code. Right now we pass this URL along with this query parameters. Even though it works, it is not a good practice to pass query string parameters along with your URL, because it makes your URL looks complex. Am I correct? Right now this URL looks complex. So you want to separate this query string parameter from this URL. So I will do that. I will remove this query string parameter part. See, now this URL looks much more cleaner. But anyway, we need query string parameter to send a valid request. For that, as a solution, this request package provides an alternate way to pass query string parameters when sending our request. I am going to show you that method now. Okay, so as an alternate, you can pass query string parameters as one of the arguments to this get method. So I'll type comma params equal to, I'll pass dictionary here. So within this dictionary, I want to pass each and every query string parameter that I need to send to this API. Okay, so our first query string parameter is address. So I will pass that, and then our second query string parameter is key. So I will also pass that too. Okay. See, after using this way of passing query string parameters, our code looks much more cleaner. Am I correct? Yes. Like this approach, you can also pass some of the other informations too. For example, you can even pass headers. Like for passing headers, you want to pass headers equal to, and then within this dictionary, you want to pass all your header information. But for this request, you don't need to pass any header information because Google doesn't want us to pass any header. We just need to pass query string parameter. That is enough for us to make this request succeed. So I will remove this header spot. Now we will test our program. Save the changes, go to terminal, run the program. Okay. Now also our request succeeded. Now we will check the type of our response body. Can you guess the type of our body? Can you guess it? Is it dictionary? We'll check it. So I'll copy this line, paste it here, comment the above two lines, and then I will wrap this property with type method. Now I will clear the screen, execute the program once again. Okay, check the type of our response body. It is not in a dictionary format, it is in a string format. More approximately, it is in a JSON string format. Parsing this huge string is much more complex. I'm sure you got it. It is actually a very huge string which holds a lot of information. Right now in this huge string I am interested in this location part. So extracting this location from this huge string is much more complex. So I will go for an easy way. What is the easy way? Converting this string back to dictionary format. But how to do that? I'll show you that. Here instead of printing response.text, I will print response.json. This JSON is a method which helps us to convert our response body from JSON string to Python dictionary. Okay, so this is the task of this JSON method. I will also change this .text to .json call. Okay, save the changes, go to terminal, clear the screen, execute the program. Now our result is not in a readable format, but check the type of our result. It is in a dictionary format. It is not in a string format, it is in a dictionary format. Means what? We can easily able to parse it. The thing that I am interested to extract is the location object, which contains the actual latitude and longitude. But where is it? I can't able to locate it. Okay, we'll do one thing. Instead of using print method to print this dictionary, I will use pprint method to print. The role of pprint is to make the printing prettier by formatting the object that we print. In order to use pprint method, you need to import pprint module. And then I'll replace this print call with pprint.pprint. Okay, that's it. I'll save the changes, go to terminal, run the program once again. Okay, now our result looks much more cleaner and prettier. The thing that I want to extract from this dictionary is this location object. In order to extract this location object, we need to understand the structure of this dictionary. We want to understand where this location object is present. But using terminal to understand this kind of complex data is much more difficult. So what I will do is I will go to my browser and then I will send request to the geolocation API again. And then finally I will use my JSON viewer plugin to understand the structure of the resultant JSON. Okay. So I'll go to my browser and then I will send request to this geolocation API again. Okay, this is my result. Now I want to find where the location object is actually there. So I'll expand this results, I'll expand this object, there, expand this geometry, and then here is our location object. See, this is the power of JSON viewer plugin. It helps us to understand the JSON much more easily. Okay, now I know where this location object is there. So I can write the Python code to extract this location detail. I'll go to my Visual Studio Code. And then here I will store the result of resp.json into a separate variable, and then hereafter I will use that particular variable to fetch the required information that I want. So I will use resp_dict is equal to resp.json. Now this resp_dict holds the result of our request, means the body of our response in a dictionary format. Now I want to extract the location detail from this dictionary. So I will do that. Inside this pprint method, I will print resp_dictionary of results of geometry. Wait, I think this results is not an object. This results is a JSON array. See, it is a JSON array. In Python term, it is a list. So I want to fetch the first object that is there in that list. So I will use results of 0. And then inside that first object, we want to fetch the geometry. And then inside the geometry, the location object is there. That's it. Save the changes, go to terminal, run the program. See, now we got our location object. Inside this location object, we have the latitude and longitude of Mysore. Now, instead of printing the entire location object, what I will do is I will extract the individual value of this latitude and longitude. I will store them in a separate variables, and then I will print the value of those variables. Okay, so this is the task that I am going to do right now. So what I will do is I'll go to my VS Code, and then here I will type lat is equal to, and then I will copy this line, paste it here. Location of lat, that is a property that holds the latitude value, and then similarly I also want to get the longitude value, so I will copy this line, paste it here, change the lat to lng, and then what is the property of this longitude? That's also lng. Okay, lng, that's it. Now I will remove all the unnecessary print methods. And then I'll print the information that I want. So printf, and then I will pass f string to it. This f string notation will be available only from the Python version 3.6. Suppose if you are using lower version of Python, means try replacing this approach with some other approaches like string concatenation or using other string format methods. Okay, so I'll print the value of latitude and longitude. Okay, save the changes, run the program. See, now our result is much more readable. Okay, now our geocoding part is working fine. This is a positive work case. Now I am going to show you how to handle a negative work case. Consider your call to API fails due to some reason. At that time, how to identify the problem and then how to tackle that problem. So this is the thing that I am going to show you right now. Okay. So in order to simulate this problem, I will manually insert some bug into my API call. So what I will do is I will remove this address parameter. This address parameter is a mandatory parameter that you need to pass to geocoding API. Suppose if we remove this parameter, means your call to the API fails. Or what I will do is instead of removing this parameter, I will misspell this parameter. Instead of add or ess, I will type ad or ess. This is a common scenario. We all make this kind of mistakes when we type our code. So as a result of this mistake, Google can't able to identify our address parameter. So it will return you an error message saying the address parameter is required, like that. Now I will show you how to tackle this situation. But before that, we will test this program. So I will save the changes and then I will run this program. We'll see what error we'll get. See, now we got an error. The error is at the place where we try to access the latitude value. Because since we add some bug into our API call result doesn't hold the actual results that we expect, but it actually holds the error object. Inside the error object, there will be an error message and there will be a results list, but that results list will be empty. So only it is showing index out of range. Means this 0th index is not at all there in that results list, because that results is an empty list now. So only it is returning this kind of error. So now we will see how to tackle this problem. Okay. But how to identify this problem? By using response status code. Each and every response that we receive contains some status code, indicates the status of the response. Suppose if we get the response status code 2xx means 200 to 299 means our request succeed. Suppose we get the status code as 4xx means 400 to 499 means there is client side error, and if we get 5xx means there is server side error. So we want to check the status code of our response and then we want to print the appropriate error message when something went wrong. So this is the way to tackle an error. So we will do that now. Okay. Here after the API call, I will do if condition. So if resp.status code is equal to 200. So this status code is the property of our response object that holds the actual status code of our response. Note, you can also check if the response status code is greater than or equal to 200 and the response status code is less than or equal to 299. You can also do that case. But in this case, if our request succeed means it will return 200 because this is a GET request. The positive status code for each and every GET request is 200. Okay, so I'll just check if the response status code is 200. Suppose if you are making any post or put request means there is a chance that you may get 201 status code also. And then at that time you want to check the response status code is greater than or equal to 200 and it is also less than or equal to 299. You also want to check those things, but in our case it is not necessary. So I will just check for this 200 status code. Okay. If our response status code is 200 means then I will parse the result and then I will print the latitude and longitude value. Else what I will do is I will print the error message. You can also print more specific error messages by checking the status code for client-side error and server-side error. But in this case, I don't want to do all those things, so I will just go with this else block. Okay. Save the changes, run the program. See, now we got our error message. Okay, the geocoding part is done. Now we will see the reverse thing, reverse geocoding. But before that, I will just fix this bug which we make intentionally, and I'll also add few comments to my code which helps me to understand my code later. So this particular part of code is geocoding, so I will just add this command geocoding, and now we are going to do reverse geocoding, so I will add that command too. Now we will start doing our reverse geocoding thing. So I'll copy this request call and then I'll paste it here, and then instead of this address parameter I need to pass lat lng parameter, so I will do that. So I'll remove this address and then I will replace it with lat lng, and then to it I need to pass latitude and longitude. So what I'll do is instead of manually passing some latitude and longitude, I'll make use of the latitude and longitude values which I get as the result of our geocoding. Okay, so I'll use f string to pass latitude and longitude, lat comma no space lng. Now I'll use pprint to print the response body. But before actually printing this, I'll check the status of the response to know whether my request succeed or not. So I'll use if statement. Save the changes, go to terminal, clear the screen, run the program. Okay, it is really a long response, but anyway it worked, that's it. I'll go to my VS Code and then now I will use .json method to convert our response JSON string to Python dictionary. So I'll do that .json. The thing that I am interested in this response object is the most accurate address and the least accurate address. That's the thing that I want to extract from this response dictionary. Before actually doing that, I will just analyze the structure of our response. So I'll go to my browser, send request to reverse geocoding, and then here the most accurate address is there as the first object of this results list, and the least accurate address is there as the last object of this results list. So I want to fetch the formatted address and the types of these two objects. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll go to my VS Code and then here I will remove this thing, and then we want to fetch resp.json. We want to fetch the results. Okay, but instead of doing this, I will again paste this response to another variable. So response dictionary is equal to response.json. Now I will use this response dictionary object, response dictionary of results. This results is a list, so I'll use 0 to fetch the most accurate address. Okay, 0 of what we want the formatted address and the types. Formatted address, and we also want the types. I think so. It is not type, it's types. I'll use pprint to print these two things. Pprint again. Save the changes, open your terminal, clear the screen, run the program. Okay, it returned the result. It returns the first thing, our address, formatted address, and then the types of the address. It is street address. Okay, but it is returning this thing within this parenthesis, but I think I don't specify any parenthesis. Okay, since we use pprint, it is actually enclosing our strings inside parentheses. Okay, because it is a string, normal string. We don't need pprint to print this string. We can use our normal print method to print this string. Okay, now we will check it once again. See, now our result is normal. It doesn't enclose our string inside a parenthesis. It is returning our string in a normal format. Okay, we are done with the extraction of the most accurate address. Now we also want to extract the least accurate address. But before actually doing so, I need to first check if the result object has more than one address. If it has more than one address means then only I can extract its last address. That is the least accurate address. So I will first check it. Okay. So here I will type if length of response dictionary of results. Suppose if its length is greater than 1 means we have more than one address. At that time only we need to extract and print the last address. So I'll copy these two lines, print and pprint, paste it here, and then instead of using this 0th index I want to use the last index. So I'll use length of response dictionary of results. I'll just copy this thing instead. Paste it here. How to get the last index of the list? Length of the list minus 1. So I'll copy this thing once again. I'll paste it here. Save the changes. I'll also do one thing. Print least accurate detail. Then here most accurate address. Save the changes, go to a terminal, run the program. See, least accurate address India, it is in a country level, and most accurate address it is this thing, and it is in a street level. Okay, if you want you can even parse this types list. Suppose consider I want to fetch the first type, not the entire types list. I just want to fetch its first type. So I'll do that. Here instead of printing this entire list, I will just fetch its 0th index. That is my first type. Okay. And then here also I'll just print the first type. And then I will replace this pprint method to normal print method, because here I am not printing any complex object, but I am just printing a single value. So I will replace it with print. Similarly, I'll also replace this pprint call with print call. Save the changes, go to terminal, run the program. Okay, most accurate address, the type is street address, and least accurate address, the type is country. Okay, we successfully sent request to Google geocoding service and we successfully parsed its complex JSON object. Well done, guys. Okay, this is a way to consume Google Map API using Python. Hopefully, after watching this particular session, I am sure you now get a confidence to consume any API using Python. Am I correct, guys? Yes. Suppose if you have any queries regarding API consumption, just let me know through comments. I will try my best to answer you as soon as possible. Suppose if you want my personal help, you can even reach me out through mail, or you can even reach me out through phone. You can find my contact details in the about section of this YouTube channel. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys, because your subscription helps me grow my channel. So please do it, guys. Meet you soon in one another video. Till then, thank you and goodbye.